From radio hero to comic book hero, we take a look at the essential Green Hornet. Debuting in 1936, the Green Hornet originally started out as a radio hero. The series followed Britt Reed, a journalist at the Daily Sentinel. Along with his sidekick Kato, the Green Hornet masquerades as a criminal in order to infiltrate the criminal underworld. Driving in their high-tech car, the Black Beauty, the duos gain criminal trust, defeat them, and leave them in police custody. Since his radio show, the Green Hornet has appeared in several television shows, films, and comic book series, including the 2009 issues written by filmmaker and comic book writer Kevin Smith. Yeah, this is just proof that you don't have to have a hero start out in a comic book. He can start out anywhere, TV show, radio. Eventually they all go to comic book, but...
Yeah. It's just, I like the originality of it. Like, it's just, nobody else is, I mean, they have, but he was the first to be like, you know, he made his name without being in a comic book, in the real world, if you want to call it that, you know. Nobody else did that, really. They had to start out either in a comic book of some form. Like, even the Phantom, he had to start out in a newspaper comic strip. He was a comic strip,
yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the radio heroes at that time were like versions of actual superheroes from the comic books. Like Superman was like the big one. Everyone listened to Superman, but like the Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet around that time were the big ones. And in fact, if you want to go by continuity's sake, the Green Hornet is actually like the great nephew of the Lone Ranger. It's both Reed is their last name. So it's like they're both similar in many ways. They have the mask, they shoot the bad guys, they have a sidekick who's from this, I guess for lack of a better term, foreign world. You know, Kato's Asian, while Tonto is Native American. So...
Not Johnny Depp?
Not Johnny Depp, no. That I'm curious.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully it's better than the recent Green Hornet.
Okay, wait. Explain that.
I think
he's twitching right now.
He's going to have a conniption.
Can we see? He's twitching. I don't think we're going to get much of a response from him, but I want to
That was not the Green Hornet, darn it. That was Seth Rogen being Seth Rogen. You know it. You know it. Camera guy, you know it. That was not the Green Hornet. That was I'm Seth Rogen. I'm big and quirky.
But they had oh gosh.
Kato was the only good thing. Kato was the only good thing in that movie.
Kato and the Black Beauty.
Black Beauty was cool.
Yeah.
The villain wasn't cool.
No.
James Franco's cameo was just like, what? Okay, well, James Franco.
Well, James Franco works with Seth Rogen.
I don't care.
I'm just.
Danny DeVito worked with Michael Keaton, but you don't see him coming in Mr. Mom. Oh, that movie. But let's talk about the Green Hornet.
Yeah, I was gonna scale it back. What's his thing? Like, what does he have at his disposal? The Green Hornet, not Seth Rogen.
Well, I mean, he's kind of like that Bruce Wayne type character, you know. He has the money. He owns his business. He has the Sentinel, the Daily Sentinel newspaper. If you ever watched the '60s TV show, go watch it. There's only a season, but it's phenomenal. So it's such a great show. But he has his own business and everything, and then he uses his wealth as a cover. He starts his own thing. Like, he has a secret garage. His car flips over, but he did it first.
So are you gonna say he did it before?
Guys, the danger room has been closed. Now.
But one of my favorite weapons is the Hornet gun. Check. Hornet sting. I mean, if you ever watch the show, it's just great. When he gets the Hornet sting, you hear the buzzing going in the background. So that's like, and he has Kato, who is more or less the jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife.
Basically, when something goes wrong and he can't solve it, he's like, Kato, go.
And Kato does it.
And Kato's like, all right, I'm going to beat up this whole room for you while you just sit back and
Speaking of the TV show, funny or interesting bit of trivia. They actually appeared in an episode of the Adam West Batman series. Actually, I think it was like one, like it was like a pair-up thing, and then one it was just a cameo, like Bruce Wayne or Batman and Robin, as well as Kato and Hornet, you know, work together to stop this crime. And then later, you know how in the original series they had that gag where they're walking up the building and a celebrity cameo would pop their head out? They had the Hornet and Kato pop their head out. He's like, Bruce, Britt, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Yeah.
And then they're going, and then they keep walking up, and then Robin's like, "Wow, Batman, what were they wearing?" He's like, "I don't know."
Burt Ward in those tights. Ugh.
Yeah, that was weird. That was just uncomfortable for everyone.
There was a couple films they made in the 40s as well, where he had the full mask, kind of. I don't know if you ever saw that Scooby-Doo episode where the old Iron Face. It's kind of like that, but with a Green Hornet thing on the bottom of it.
Ruh-roh, Rado. Scooby-Doo, man.
I got it. I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I just had a freak out. Let me have my moment.
Yeah, you've been twitching and doing all this. All right. So, yeah, I mean, let's get to the comics real quick because we mentioned Kevin Smith writes it. Right now, Mark Waid is taking over, who's doing such a great thing on Daredevil, and he's just started #1. Came out on Wednesday. So
Now, does Dynamite Comics have
they write it.
Hornet? And they do a lot of like old heroes revised.
All the pulp heroes: Shadow, Zorro.
Right.
All right, so basically, the Green Hornet right now is a classic hero who's not dead yet.
Or
Because,
Seth Rogen.
okay,
We can.
we get it,
I won't say we can kill him,
but Green Hornet right now is alive and going, still to this day.
very much so.
Fantastic. So, we move on to our Deadpool quote of the week. You have any idea how hard it is to find a joint that'll serve a guy in a mask and bandolier? They won't even let me into Taco Bell.
Well, anyway, that's all for today's episode of Between the Panels. I'm Jobo.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Ricky, and we'll see you in the next issue.